Chapter 221. Gu Jingze said that I'm close to her. Lin Che could not stand anyone who opposed her and talked about the people by her side. Hearing her talk, she immediately straightened herself and said, "What do you mean by this? If Sister Xiaoyuan wants to have rumors, go find them on your own. But your position is high now, so you probably won't be able to find someone willing to create rumors with you. After all, the male stars around your age are mostly married already." Lin Che was not targeting her age by saying that. She was just mad that Xin Xiaoyuan would talk about Yu Minmin like that. Xin Xiaoyuan heard this and her entire Botox-ed face wrinkled up. "I was giving face to President Zhang, so I didn't say anything about you. But you really think you can fly now and you dare to talk back to anyone? You think you're so famous now that nobody can do anything to you, right?" Song Shuai saw the situation unravel from behind and she quickly rushed over and said, "Enough. Young people are ignorant, don't become like them." Song Shuai lowered her voice and reminded her, she might have some backing. "You better not say too much." "Humph, I don't believe that. What kind of backing would you still be afraid of?" Just then, there was some commotion from behind. "President Zhang, Mr. Gu Jingze is here." President Zhang then hastily said, "Oh, right. Gu Jingze agreed to be our guest of honor." Everybody did not expect Gu Jingze to come. Gu Jingze always had his own company and never joined any others. Thus, it was no big deal when the company invited him to the annual meeting. It was just that even though Gu Jingze didn't like to associate with people, he wasn't someone that one could successfully invite if one wanted to. That's why everybody was extremely surprised that Gu Jingze turned up. Xin Xiaoyuan and Song Shuai couldn't help but look over. They looked back at Lin Che again and thought about the rumor between the two of them. They wondered if Gu Jingze was really. Gu Jingze walked over with some staff members. His gaze was neutral until he saw Lin Che. He then smiled subtly. Although Xin Xiaoyuan was in the circle for so many years, she had never worked with Gu Jingze before. Now that she saw Gu Jingze, her eyes were glued to him. Gu Jingze's gaze was pure and his face was stunning. He looked extremely tough. His smile attracted people and the way he walked in with the staff made him stand out from regular actors. This was naturally because he was in an entire league of his own and he had countless fans. It was also because many people knew that he was the third young master of the Gu family. However, Gu Jingze didn't say a word and went straight to Lin Che's side. President Zhang saw and hurriedly announced, "You're here, you're here. How nice of you to grace this place, third young master Gu." Gu Jingze nodded politely and looked at Lin Che. "Why are you staring at me? Are you suddenly finding me attractive?" "No way." Lin Che thought speechlessly that this man was so shameless. "Alright, let's not make a joke of ourselves. Let's sit down." Oh. Lin Che heard Gu Jingze's words and was just about to go back to her own seat. But Gu Jingze grabbed her arm. "Where are you going?" President Zhang saw and quickly said, "Exactly, Lin Che. Where do you think you're going? Just sit here." Lin Che looked at Gu Jingze. He already said so and pressed her shoulders to make her sit on the chair. Lin Che could only look speechlessly at this table. The people sitting here all held high positions in the company. There were a few top artists too and she didn't feel right sitting there. The others watched with their jaws dropped. One after another, they got more surprised looking over there. Although the two of them had a rumor and participated in events, Gu Jingze seemed to really take care of her, even though nobody had seen them in contact privately. Thus, it was natural to assume that Gu Jingze was also creating speculations. Since he was a veteran in this industry, he naturally knew the limits of creating hype. Lin Che was just being made use of by him and got lucky in the process. Nobody thought that Gu Jingze would actually have a relationship with such a brat like Lin Che. Lin Che also didn't think that she would have any relationship with the Gu family, but this was all real. She was friends with Gu Jingze and had a complicated relationship with Gu Jingze. It was very strange. President Zhang watched the two of them sitting together and had inquisitive thoughts in his mind. He looked at the two of them and asked, "Does third young master really get along well with our Lin Che privately?" Gu Jingze laughed and turned to look back at Lin Che. That warm look on his face made everybody's jaws drop even more. Yes, this stupid brat was lucky to know me. Otherwise, she would have long been a goner. We've always kept in contact privately. Why, has she never told anyone before? Of course not. Lin Che was not a fool either. If she went about telling people that she really knew Gu Jingze, they might not believe her. Anyway, whether they wanted to believe her or not, Lin Che wouldn't go around announcing it anyway. President Zhang quickly said, "No, no. This child Lin Che has a good heart. She doesn't use the third young master's name to make announcements. You guys like to keep a low profile, so of course, we don't dive into our artists' private lives too." Gu Jingze smiled. He usually couldn't be bothered with people, but he kept picking food for Lin Che, talking to her, and looking down at his phone to privately chat with her. Several bosses watched this scene and gave one another a look. It was both shocking yet completely expected. Song Shui watched them and her gaze fell on Gu Jingze. She spoke softly, "Gu Jingze is really good looking up close." "I'm not blind, I can see that," Shin Xiaoyuan said in a very bad mood. Song Shui said, "I didn't expect this little brat Lin Che to be so lucky. See how enthusiastically they're chatting. I wonder if Gu Jingze has taken a liking to this brat, seriously." Shin Xiaoyuan listened and her entire body was already fuming. Looking at the eyes around her, they seemed to be looking at her like a joke. To be beaten by her own words, Shin Xiaoyuan's mind was raging. Looking at how Lin Che became the center of attention in this annual meeting instantly, she angrily thought, "Lin Che, you intentionally didn't give me face. Do you dare to challenge me? Humph, I'll have plenty of chances to play with you." After eating, Gu Jingze immediately offered to send Lin Che back. The few bosses politely walked them out. The small actors who had the honor to participate didn't expect to be able to see Gu Jingze here. Their eyes looked over with jealousy at Lin Che, who was standing beside Gu Jingze. "You see, that's a big shot indeed. The entourage of staff following behind is as big as a film crew. It's so great." A few jealous faces looked at the graceful Lin Che, who was able to be part of that bunch of people. Chapter 222. He couldn't bear for her to be compromised. They were finally outside and the few bosses politely retreated. Gu Jingze wanted to send her home. Lin Che looked speechlessly at Gu Jingze. "Why did you come to my company?" "I missed you, so I came to see you." "Forget it." Lin Che glared speechlessly at him. Gu Jingze laughed and said, "Why? Do you not believe me? I really missed you." Lin Che said, "Fine, fine, fine. I'm really flattered." Gu Jingze asked, "Can't you be more patronizing?" "It is what it is." Gu Jingze looked at her, then shook his head. "Just now inside, were you being outcasted?" He could tell. Lin Che thought that he was a veteran too, so he definitely understood. Thus, she only shrugged her shoulders and said, "It doesn't matter. I don't actually care. If you want to compare to them, you can't beat them. You cannot win by playing dirty tricks with them too. It's better that you keep your distance from them. It's not easy for them to get to where they are over a few years. You're still on your way up and not at the level of a big shot yet. You just managed to get your own coverage and fans. It's also understandable for them to see you now. They'll take any chance to stomp on you and throw you off. Since your foundation is not steady yet, climbing back up may be much more difficult." Lin Che never thought about all these scary things. No way. How can they be so evil? What else do you think? They haven't thrown off just one or two small artists like that. As for you, if I wasn't looking, you would be the easiest target to knock down. Lin Che heard this and felt grateful towards him. Thus, she said in all seriousness, "Thank you, Senior Jingze. You don't have to say these kinds of sour words, it's not like I'm gonna tease you. I especially came today to look for you. I'm going to be filming a huge movie and wanted you to come to try for it. What do you say?" "Huge movie?" Lin Che's eyes lit up. "It's a fantasy movie and we haven't found a female lead. I think your aura is very suitable, so I recommended you to them. If you're willing, you can come and try out." "Really? Of course I'm willing." After she said that, she had some doubts again, "But I've never acted in a movie before. Aren't you afraid that I'll mess up?" "That's why you have to audition first. I'm still very serious when it comes to working." "Oh, right, I need to audition." But I believe that you'll pass, he smiled and said. Lin Che looked gratefully at him. Thank you, Gu Jingze. Thank you for believing in me. Never mind, I trust my eyesight, Gu Jingze replied. Lin Che speechlessly thought, seriously, he was exactly like his brother. They were both bad at praising people. When Gu Jingze bade farewell to her, Gu Jingze arrived moments later. Lin Che was very surprised. She watched Gu Jingze's car stylishly stop at the roadside. His men got out and respectfully asked her to get in, saying that Gu Jingze was inside. Just from finding out that she was going to be in a movie soon, she got extremely happy. She jumped in front of Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze, how come you're here? Gu Jingze said, I just ended work so I wanted to pick you up. The one that just left. Was that Jingyu? Ah, you saw, that's right. I bought him that car. Of course I recognize it. Gu Jingze then frowned at Lin Che. What was he doing here? Lin Che immediately said with excitement, Gu Jingze invited me to film a big movie. He hoped that I'll go audition for the female lead. Lin Che thought about how she was outcasted inside and bullied by the company's big sister. Mulling over it, she concluded that she still wasn't qualified enough. She wanted to work even harder so that she could move forward. Gu Jingze saw that she was so happy and he asked, You're so happy over a movie? Lin Che replied, But of course. Gu Jingze's movie will definitely be great. You're not in the circle, so you definitely don't know Gu Jingze's value. With Gu Jingze's name on it, it's already predicted to be a sellout. Gu Jingze is in an entire league of his own. He's the guarantee for a box office and virality. I've only acted in TV dramas so movie directors won't choose people like me. We may be famous but the movies have a set of different criteria. Gu Jingze's brows slowly furrowed. Hearing her so full of praise for Gu Jingze, his heart began to feel uncomfortable. It's just a movie. The world still relies on the economy for support. He only felt regret after saying those words. What was wrong with him? Why were his words so sour? But a bright, little voice in his heart told him that he didn't like her worshipping others. He never had such a possessive desire for a woman, but for Lin Che, he already wanted to monopolize all her thoughts. Worshipping someone else was unacceptable. He thought about how she would worship him in the same way and felt satisfied. However, the way she worshipped was actually not just for him. He knew this was wrong, unethical and unreasonable, but he just couldn't control his thinking. Gu Jingze blurted out, Since you're already married to me, isn't it a bad idea to film a movie with Jingyu? Ah, Lin Che didn't expect Gu Jingze to suddenly become so unhappy that his face fell. It's just a movie, no big deal, right? What do you mean no big deal? Jingyu and I are brothers. You're lacking principles by doing this. You're married to me, yet you're acting with him as lovers. How am I going to face the world? Lin Che was taken aback. In one moment, she was thinking about how the film was going to be great. Gu Jingyu's team was also very capable and she couldn't bear to give this opportunity up. In the next moment, she was getting lectured by him and she felt uncomfortable. He was actually right. This wasn't such a good idea. Her eyes reddened and although she couldn't bear to, she still said, Never mind then. I won't participate in it. Gu Jingze froze as he saw Lin Che's eyes were all red. Seeing her compromise herself, it was all the more unbearable for him. It was as if all that anger suddenly became worthless in front of her suffering. I'm sorry, I didn't control my emotions just now. If you want to shoot, go ahead. I was merely speaking. He caressed her cheek gently and was extremely unwilling to see any disappointment on her face. Especially not when he was the reason for her disappointment. Lin Che looked up at Gu Jingze, really? But, thinking about it, it really doesn't seem right. It's all right as long as there are no intimate scenes. That can be requested with the director. Of course, that is only if I pass the audition. That is a given, Gu Jingze replied. Lin Che's heart warmed up. Thank you, Gu Jingze. Chapter 223. I'm sorry I can't be a better wife. Gu Jingze said, There's no need to be so polite with me. Lin Che replied, Of course. With me as your wife, you probably have to tolerate a lot. If someone else was your wife, you wouldn't have to give in so much. That someone she was referring to was naturally Mo Hilling. Lin Che thought that she did have a lot of things going on. Her work and life were ridden with trouble. Maybe when Mo Hilling was with him for over a decade, there wasn't too much trouble. Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che and his eyes moved. He looked far into the distance while deep in thought and said, "Now that you mention it, you do have a lot of problems." Lin Che's heart sank as she looked at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze laughed, "But since I married you, I have to accept it." Lin Che glared hard at him. "You really don't know how to make a girl happy. How can you be so honest at a time like this? Now that you made me think, you're lucky you married me. If it was another woman, she definitely would be angered to death by you. At least we had an agreement beforehand, so I can get along with you peacefully. If it was someone else, nobody can endure a blockhead like you." "Humph." Gu Jingze said, "Since you asked me, of course, I had to answer you seriously. What should I be saying otherwise? Of course, it is according to what I meant. Girls need to be coddled, do you understand? That's why I said that marrying you is also my suffering. At least other married couples have a honeymoon period, but I don't have anything at all. And I still need to tolerate your bad temper. Tell me, am I suffering?" "Yes, you're suffering. A good girl like you deserves a better marriage." Gu Jingze thought that it was indeed tough on her to marry him. There was no ceremony, no honeymoon stage, and no honeymoon vacation. A good girl her age should have a lovely relationship and the sweetness that comes from a marriage out of love. However, she didn't have any of those. Lin Che looked at him in surprise. "Ah, you know how to talk nicely now." Gu Jingze replied, "Yes, I'm learning as I go." She just knew his mouth wouldn't kick its bad habit. But as Lin Che gazed at Gu Jingze, she felt that she actually didn't deserve him. Being able to get to know him and get along with him like this probably used up all the luck in her life. She had no status. She was nobody and she always got into trouble. She was not gentle or virtuous enough. He deserved a better woman, but she was selfish and liked being carefree. She would never change to become a better woman for him. Lin Che glared at him and then looked up at him. "So can I really go for the audition?" "Of course you can. Whatever I said just now were casual words. I won't interfere in your career." Lin Che laughed. "I still have to thank you. You actually have the right to interfere. We agreed on this. I will play the role of Mrs. Gu well. If I'm not good to you, you must tell me. I don't know a lot after all." "Silly, this doesn't really affect me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it for so many years," Gu Jingze said. "If you can't be carefree and do the things you want to do as my wife, then I failed as a husband. But Miss Mo probably never had this much trouble. I just thought that maybe I'm being too selfish." Lin Che bit her lips and looked down at her fingers. She felt guilty. Gu Jingze took a deep breath and looked at her. Hilling indeed never was this troublesome. Lin Che looked up at Gu Jingze, her eyes glistening. But Gu Jingze continued, "But I know that it's because Hilling never did anything all these years. She was always at home and not working. What trouble could there be? You have your own dreams and career and that's not a bad thing. You shouldn't feel that it's troublesome either. These are matters that deserve encouragement." Lin Che's eyes softened as she looked at Gu Jingze's gentle gaze. Her heart began to feel guiltier. She couldn't do anything for him and only caused him trouble. This wife was really incompetent. Gu Jingze relaxed. "All right, don't think so much anymore. If you really think it's that bad, then don't get into so much trouble. Work humbly and don't invite trouble with some indecent man." Lin Che looked speechlessly at Gu Jingze. "Are you talking about Gu Jingyu?" Gu Jingze glanced at her. Lin Che thought meekly, Gu Jingyu was his little brother. Although Jingyu is not a bad person, he is very rebellious and he doesn't do things well. When he got into trouble, which was often, Big Brother and I had to help him handle things. You still treat him as some idol. There's nothing good to learn from him. Just film the movie and don't mix with him when you have nothing to do, Gu Jingze said. Lin Che pouted. "I didn't say that I treated him as an idol. I just said that he's a very good person." Of course, a person of your intellect wouldn't be able to differentiate between bad and good. Everybody is good in your eyes. It's not the first time you were blinded. Lin Che shot him a look. The weather was great, and although it was cold, the sky was clear like a huge ink plate decorated with tender pearls. Lin Che took a deep breath and said, "Ah, the weather is so good. Let's take a walk before going back." Gu Jingze saw that her mood instantly lifted. He mentally shook his head and scolded her for being so thoughtless. But he still looked up and nodded in agreement. Lin Che ran around like a little bird. She even wore a down jacket, but because she was skinny, she didn't look bloated at all with the extra layer. In fact, she looked adorable as her slender legs moved about below the down jacket. She looked like the little red bird from Angry Birds. Gu Jingze's lips curled up in a smile and he followed after Lin Che. Lin Che said, "I don't have any great ambitions, but I do want to become the #1 sister one day. Humph, I'll let those people who want me dead to watch me. I'll let them watch me real good." Clenching her fist, she was still angry thinking about how she got outcasted just now. Her own shortcomings implicated the rest of her team until they had no rights to speak. Thus, she really had to fight on and get to the highest point so that she could stop the people beside her from suffering. She also hoped for the day when Yu Minmin no longer had to see other people's faces because of her. Then, they wouldn't be ridiculed like they were today. Gu Jingze saw her fighting posture and looked plainly at her #1 sister. "That's right. Do you think I can do it?" Lin Che turned back and asked. Gu Jingze smiled and looked at her. "Of course you can." Lin Che moved the corners of her lips. "Right, I definitely can. Sooner or later, I'll take over the top of the world and let these despising haters watch me. Humph, they dare to bully me. Wait until I'm the #1 sister. I'll let my assistant handle you." Watching Lin Che's villainous behavior, Gu Jingze felt kind of speechless. But he also found it very interesting. Especially that rich expression on her face. It really moved people. Many people thought that men wouldn't like such a utilitarian woman like that. He thought so too. However, this petite woman consciously had utilitarian expression written all over her face. Yet, it wasn't detestable at all. Chapter 224. What is sweet talking for? Gu Jingze took a few steps forward and quickly grabbed her shoulders. "Be careful, there are cars on the road." Staring at this reckless woman, he asked, "How can you be the Gu house mistress in the future if you're like this?" Lin Che pursed her lips and thought that she wasn't really going to be the Gu house mistress. She thought, some other woman would surely take on the house mistress role in the future. It wasn't certain who it might be, but it definitely wouldn't be her. Would it be Mo Hilling? She was rather reluctant to give up Gu Jingze to a woman like Mo Hilling. However, Gu Jingze grew up together with Mo Hilling and he didn't know any other woman besides Mo Hilling. If he divorced her one day, perhaps he might just go back to find Mo Hilling. Although he was fighting with Mo Hilling now, there was no telling when they would patch up. After all, their feelings from over 10 years ago were still there. She couldn't deny that Mo Hilling's words still affected her. What Mo Hilling said was right. His time spent with her was short in comparison. His feelings with Mo Hilling were deeper. He wanted to be with Lin Che and do those things, but it might have been because he never touched a woman and she was the only one who he could touch. Gu Jingze saw that there were many cars. He turned around and gave his bodyguard a look. The bodyguard immediately understood and quickly found people to help dissipate the traffic. Gu Jingze held Lin Che with one hand. He held her hand and gently intertwined his fingers. In an instant, a sense of satisfaction rose up in his heart, making his lips curl up silently. Her hand was really too small. Looking down, it gave him the impulse to hold it tight. He wanted to squeeze it and bully her. But then again, it was too delicate. It made him feel that just a little bit of force would break her tiny bones. Her palm was cool, probably because of the cold weather. He frowned and rubbed her palm as he asked, "It's so icy. Are you cold? Why don't we head back?" "I'm not cold. My hands are usually icy." Lin Che looked back at him and smiled. She wore a down jacket while he only wore a mustard windbreaker. With his tall stature, wearing a windbreaker made him look very neat. He only wore a shirt inside. Lin Che thought that he must have been the one feeling cold. Lin Che quickly asked, "Why don't we head back? You're wearing too little, so you must be cold." Gu Jingze smiled at Lin Che and pulled her into his arms. Lin Che made a sound and felt his long arms slide down her neck. His body leaned against her back as he hugged her tightly. Lin Che did not expect that his body would feel so warm when he wore so little. She couldn't feel it through her thick clothes, but she could feel his body warmth permeating the skin of her neck. This feeling was so warming that she couldn't bear to leave. Lin Che felt the warmth and stepped into his embrace. She found a comfortable position and smiled. This blissful feeling made her head and heart melt. Gu Jingze hugged her petite body and said next to her ear, "I don't like winter at all." "Why?" Lin Che raised her head. Gu Jingze laughed, "You have too many clothes on. I can't touch you." Quote. Lin Che stepped on his shoe. "Get lost. We're out on the streets. What's there to touch?" Gu Jingze said, "Why should anybody care about me touching my own wife?" Lin Che's heart sweetened a little and felt a lot warmer. "Gu Jingze, you've learned to have a glib tongue," Lin Che remarked. Gu Jingze asked, "How am I being glib-tongued? Where did you learn these sweet nothings from?" "Ah, these have to be learned," Gu Jingze asked. Lin Che said, "Otherwise, how can a person like you who has never dated properly know how to sweet talk?" Gu Jingze laughed, "These things don't have to be learned. If you want to say it to someone, it will naturally come out. It's all instinctual." Lin Che froze. Gu Jingze said, "How else do we carry on the bloodline?" "Get lost." Lin Che rolled her eyes. "So you mean to say that sweet nothings are all to get into bed?" "Of course not. How can you think that way about me?" Gu Jingze said in a morally upright manner. "Even if it's not for getting into bed, the carpet, sofa, kitchen, balcony. I can accept all of those too." Lin Che blushed. "Gangster, that's indecent. If I continue to be decent, you wouldn't be able to stand it anymore and you'll run away. You'll only be able to enjoy if I'm indecent." Lin Che hid her petite face in her down jacket like an angry little puffer fish puffing up her body to glare at him. Gu Jingze laughed playfully. His heart opened up a lot more when she teased him like that. Lin Che saw the way he smiled and thought that he really looked good while smiling. Especially when he looked so candid and real. When his entire body radiated happiness, his eyes were like diamonds glistening in the light. The lines of his jaw also softened on his perfect face. He looked like he was glowing like a sun so brilliant that no one could move their eyes away. Lin Che touched his hand. Although his palm was hot, the back of his hand was cool. She said, "You're wearing too little. Look, there's a little stall there selling scarves." Gu Jingze looked over and saw a roadside stall selling things. A little girl squatted there and looked around energetically, waiting for customers. Lin Che dragged Gu Jingze with her and walked over. Gu Jingze frowned. He looked at the things at the roadside stall and felt that they weren't clean. The material also probably paled in comparison to scarves made in Italy. Lin Che did not realize his objection and headed straight there. She asked, "Little girl, how much is the scarf?" "Pretty lady, do you want to buy a scarf? One costs 30. If you want to get two, I'll give you a discount." "Get one. I made these myself." The little girl looked up at the two of them and her eyes lit up. Handsome guys and pretty girls were always pleasing to the eyes. The little girl immediately saw the exquisiteness of Gu Jingze. His face was so perfect that it made people sigh in amazement. His nonchalant eyes were full of sexiness. He was so eye-catching. The little girl's eyes were bright. "Sir, is this your girlfriend? She's very pretty. Why don't you buy one for her to wear? The weather is so cold. It won't be good to let your girlfriend freeze." When Gu Jingze heard her praise Lin Che, he chuckled and looked at Lin Che. Lin Che said, "I want to buy one for him." The little girl heard this and said, "The men's ones are here. Take a look, it'll definitely match your clothes." Lin Che saw a dark gray scarf. It looked furry, and although it wasn't outstanding and couldn't compare to those exquisite, branded ones, it did look very warm. She raised her hand and said, "I want that scarf. Can you bring it for me to try?" Of course, the little girl quickly took the scarf and handed it over to Lin Che with a smile. She snuck a look at the handsome guy next to her and felt that he was really handsome. Gu Jingze frowned as he watched Lin Che bring the scarf towards him. Because they were on the street, he could only brace himself and let her put it around him. Chapter 225. A lifetime actually sounded nice. The scarf went around him a few times before Lin Che let go. When she looked up, she saw that the wrapped-up Gu Jingze looked even colder. He became even more charismatic. Gu Jingze's handsomeness was definitely not covered. His perfectly aristocratic aura made the scarf no worse than any branded ones. It's a saying that people relied on clothes, but clothes also relied on people. Lin Che thought, a man like Gu Jingze probably could wear something casual and still look like he belonged in Paris Fashion Week. The person beside them noticed and looked over at them. With both hands tidying the scarf, she looked at him with bright eyes and said, "You look really nice." Gu Jingze heard this and his previously uncooperative gaze fell instantly. He looked at Lin Che and smiled as he took the scarf off. He wrapped the long scarf around both of them. And it also pulled the two of them closer. Lin Che's face almost touched his chin. She looked up at him with that sweet, beautiful and amazing gaze. People couldn't help but look over. One by one, passers-by looked at that picturesque scene of both of them. They sighed in wonder at this couple. What a perfect match. How enviable. Someone at the side said, "The scarf looks very nice and it doesn't look like a product of a roadside stall at all. Let's buy one." Come on, you can make Chanel look like a roadside stall product. Why don't you see how others look? If you buy the clothes he wears, that will be a whole different look. Get lost. I think it looks rather nice. Humph. The little seller couldn't resist taking a picture of the couple. The snap sound alerted Gu Jingze, who turned around to look at the little girl. He asked, "What are you doing?" The little girl shivered in fear from his cold gaze. "I thought the two of you looked really good, so I wanted to snap a picture to attract business." Lin Che heard this and looked at the little girl. "It's such a cold day. Why are you out here selling scarves?" She didn't look that old. She was probably still a student. The little girl laughed sourly. "I was accepted into university but I can't attend. My family is too poor, so I have no choice but to come out to work this year. Once I earn enough for my tuition fees and living expenses, I'll sit for the entrance exam again next year. Thus, I work during the day and sell things every night as an extra income." Lin Che looked at the little girl and her heart was moved. She thought of her own self when she was at her wit's end. Lin Che understood that feeling of hopelessness. But no matter how hopeless it was, she had to give herself hope. That was how she survived too. Lin Che looked up at Gu Jingze and said, "I think a girl who is so independent like this is very good. Why don't I buy everything?" Gu Jingze looked at her and nodded. Lin Che said to the little girl, "If you're interested, you can work at my place. This is my contact information. Please take it. If you decide to work in my place, you can call me. I can guarantee you that this job will let you earn a lot more than what you can now. But it is also tough and I can't guarantee that it'll be interesting for you. In any case, you can come to try it out." "Ah, thank you so much. I will consider it." She looked at Gu Jingze and blushed a little. "Sister, your boyfriend is really handsome. You're so kind too. You two will definitely be blissful." Lin Che smiled at her while Gu Jingze looked at the girl and tugged Lin Che's hand. She turned around to wrap the scarf around Gu Jingze. Standing on her toes and looking at his face, he looked so perfect. No wonder the little girl blushed when she saw him. Lin Che and Gu Jingze continued walking. Unknowingly, snowflakes started falling from the sky. Gu Jingze frowned and stretched out his hand to catch a snowflake. That calm and quiet demeanor was as if everything was carefully calculated and nothing could stop him. In the past, Lin Che didn't think she would like this type of man. She liked those boy next door, handsome boys just like Chin Ching. But gradually, she began to be enchanted by his beauty. Holding his hand, she felt her heart palpitate more excitedly than when they kissed or did something else. What was wrong with her? When she saw him look back, she quickly lowered her head. Was she really falling for him? Or was she just getting used to his protection and relying on him? But how could she dare to fall for such a perfect, strong man? She escaped his gaze, but in the next moment of carelessness, she stepped on the curb and her heel broke. "Oh no, this can't be happening. How can such an expensive shoe break so easily?" Lin Che exclaimed uncontrollably. Thankfully, Gu Jingze was beside her and immediately held her. What happened? You're so careless. Gu Jingze looked at the high heel that her heart was still aching over and immediately tossed it aside. Hey, what are you doing? Lin Che exclaimed. Gu Jingze said, you don't need this anymore. I'll buy you a car tomorrow. Lin Che yelled speechlessly, the company let me borrow that for the meeting today. Without waiting for her to pick up the shoe, Gu Jingze pulled her onto his back. Don't move. I'll carry you. Lin Che was on his back and she halted. Hugging his broad back, she felt a quiet flow of gratefulness. When she was young, she always envied others who could ride on their father's necks and get carried around like a treasure. But she didn't even experience that fatherly love for one day. She leaned on him and rested her face on his back. Gu Jingze paused slightly as he felt her pressing on him. That tight feeling made his heart feel something different. Smiling, this kind of feeling was calming. It also made him feel very comfortable. Lin Che sprawled on him and said, I think you should put me down. I'm fine. You sprained your leg. Didn't you see that your ankle is all red? I'm taking you to the hospital. It's not that serious. If you wait for it to become really serious, it'll be too late to go to the hospital. I don't want to serve a broken-legged old hag for the rest of my life. Ha, seriously. Didn't we swear the marriage oath? In sickness and in health, you'll never abandon me. What's wrong with carrying me for a lifetime? A lifetime. The image of them in white hair holding each other inadvertently flashed across Gu Jingze's mind. That actually looked very heartwarming. To be with her for a lifetime. That didn't sound too hard to accept. He only thought that that kind of life would definitely be interesting. Chapter 226. Really outrageous once fired up. Of course, everybody wants to live healthily. No one wants to carry you for life. Lin Che scoffed. This fellow really didn't know how to talk. Can't you just lie to me and say things like even if I die, you would stay by my side for life? Nonsense. Gu Jingze frowned and halted in his tracks. Don't talk about dying. If she died, this world would suddenly be missing a lot of things. A lot. The mere thought of it made him feel very uncomfortable. Lin Che chuckled and adjusted herself into a more comfortable position on his back. Even if it was only a brief moment of warmth, she wanted to enjoy it. His body started to burn. He speechlessly wondered if this woman really treated herself as a woman. She didn't even know how to protect her own body. Her chest was so soft and it kept rubbing against his back. It was driving him crazy. Although they were separated by thick clothes, it still ignited his body's desire in an instant. With difficulty, they finally reached the car. He looked at her red face and declared coldly, nobody else is to piggyback you in the future. Lin Che asked speechlessly, what's wrong? Am I very heavy? I told you not to carry me but you insisted. Her confusion made her feel really helpless. He frowned at her, aren't you a woman? How am I not a woman? If you don't believe me, I can strip for you to see. Gu Jingze forgot that this woman simply had no restrictions. It was a tight space in the car. He stared at Lin Che and suddenly grabbed hold of her and smacked her bottom numerous times. The smacking sounds made Lin Che feel speechless and embarrassed. She was already grown up but still had her bottom smacked. What are you doing, Gu Jingze? She exclaimed. She quickly pushed Gu Jingze away and backed away from him. Gu Jingze said, I'll see if you dare to make such rubbish jokes again. You're not allowed to say these kinds of words to any other man. He looked at the smooth skin of her neck and after hearing that she would strip naked for him to see, he had already stripped her naked with his eyes. He knew that her skin was as smooth as silk and her body was very petite. She was so delicate that he couldn't bear to be so brutal. Her defined little face was actually a lot better looking than Mo Hilling's. Mo Hilling only had the aura of a missy and her face wasn't outstandingly pretty. On the other hand, Lin Che was the kind of person whom people would find prettier as they looked at her. Gu Jingze didn't want to compare her with Mo Hilling. However, he just happened to be familiar with only one woman who was Mo Hilling. He inevitably made comparisons. In any case, no man could resist this petite face. He thought that any man facing her invitation would only throw off all his armor immediately. He felt all the more indignant just thinking about other men feeling hot for her. If they separated one day and she went to find another man, he would feel that no one could match up to her perfection. Not to mention giving her perfect body to another man to soothe. He didn't want her body to be polluted by another man's warmth at all. I'm a man, I know how this kind of joke affects men, he dictated. Lin Che was really speechless. But before she could react, his body suddenly closed in on her. The chauffeur was long gone. His palm rested on the car door as he looked at her face. His deep gaze stared into her eyes. His delicate face had a deadly temptation. His perfect lips carried his unique breath and brushed gently across her lips. It stopped and then brushed across again. That sexy demeanor fired up Lin Che's heart. She almost wanted to go up and hug this irresistible man, take off her clothes, and have him right there. However, she only breathed heavily and felt the temperature in the car rise. He said, "Don't underestimate a man's desire." His hand reached underneath her clothes from behind and with a snap, they came apart. His tough hand caressed her tender skin. After that, he couldn't control himself and bit on her ear as he whispered, "You caused this, so you settle this." What? In the next moment, he somehow pressed something to lower the car seat and the two of them laid there. Lin Che's body itched from his kiss. She gasped in a blurry state, "We can't. There are people." "What people?" he asked. She looked up to see that the crowd had unknowingly disappeared. "Hey, where is everyone? Why, isn't it convenient that there's nobody? Or did you want people to watch?" "Bastard, you're the one who wants to be watched." "No, I only want to be watched by you." As he spoke, their kiss intensified. Because of his passion, her brain instantly turned into mush. She could only hug his waist tightly, gasping and moaning in the chaos. The next day, Lin Che's leg was injured but she still wanted to go to her company to settle some matters for the year. Gu Jingze had someone send her to work. Soon, Yu Minmin received her inside. Seeing her in a wheelchair, she asked speechlessly, "What happened to you?" Lin Che said, "Don't mention it. I was very unlucky." Yu Minmin shook her head, "Very well. Oh right, this morning, Gu Jingz's team sent an email saying that you can audition for their movie's female lead." Lin Che replied, "Yeah, he told me yesterday." Yu Minmin said, "It's great to have this opportunity. Gu Jingze is really taking good care of you and thinking about everything for you. This big movie is not a chance that anyone can have. If you're really going to act in it, your status and fame will rise up by a mile. Not to mention the box office, your share will definitely not be small." Lin Che said, "Of course, I want to be in it too. I've never filmed a movie as a lead role before. I was always a calefare in the past. This Gu Jingze takes care of you for no reason. Don't tell me he..." "Enough, Sister Yu, don't talk blindly. How can that be? He's just a very good friend and he thought that it suited my image." Yu Minmin knew their relationship and was just teasing her. Lin Che saw the news on the TV saying that Qin Wanwan took part in Spring Night. Chapter 227, Won't Let Them Live Peacefully. On the TV, it said that she was going to sing with a famous singer during Spring Night. Among the best newcomers, she was the only one selected to attend Spring Night and she was considered to be blossoming. Her movie was going to play soon and it was ready to take over the whole Spring Festival. Yu Minmin watched the news and said to Lin Che, "She indeed has many things going on recently. She's growing fast." Lin Che nodded and said, "Yeah, and her development seems quite wholesome. Don't think about it. That voice of yours will never make it to Spring Night. What can we do when other people have good voices? Bah, can't I act in a skit?" Lin Che puffed up her cheeks and asked in contempt. Recently, the online debate comparing Lin Che and Qin Wanwan grew unabatedly. The two houses of fans would argue for no reason, making them feel rather speechless. Now that Qin Wanwan was going to Spring Night, this comparison was about to revive. But Qin Wanwan was indeed a model worker. She was filming shows and movies non-stop. Now, she was suddenly going to Spring Night from out of nowhere. Although it was said that nobody really liked to see Spring Night, it was still a benchmark that people used to judge how famous an artist could be. For artists who have been on Spring Night, their status immediately changed. Yu Minmin knew that she was just joking, so she didn't bother. She only said, then you'd better watch your steps. Let's not care about spring night. We just need to focus on getting ready for your audition. At Mo Hilling's side. When she dashed out of the KTV that day, she stood outside and cried for a long time. However, Gu Jingze didn't even come out to check on her. She was so mad that she wanted to go back in to settle things with Gu Jingze. But she thought that since she ran away, going back in would be a disgrace. Thus, she decided not to go back. However, she was still secretly spying on Lin Che and Gu Jingze's life together in contempt. Looking at the photos sent to her now, all of them were extremely intimate scenes of Gu Jingze and Lin Che together. He actually smiled at Lin Che, hugged Lin Che, and even wore some dirty scarf with that little slut. Mo Hilling was beyond disgusted. That damned Lin Che actually put such a filthy thing on Gu Jingze's body. This was contaminating Gu Jingze. Naturally, when Gu Jingze carried Lin Che on his back, his men already cleared the streets and her spy couldn't follow them. Mo Hilling swiped all the photos onto the floor in her rage. Father Mo saw this and came in to scold Mo Hilling, enough. Why are you throwing a temper now? Since you don't have the tolerance, don't think about it anymore. Why are you seeking for your own misery? Mo Hilling heard this and became angrier. She vented it all on her father. What do you mean by no tolerance? Gu Jingze merely slept with this little slut and is enchanted by her for now. Gu Jingze has an illness and I can't touch him, so this little slut was able to seize the opportunity. Jingze doesn't have feelings for her at all. It's only his desire. Do you see just how low class this little slut is? She doesn't know a damn thing and she's only a low class, inferior good. She doesn't deserve to stand beside Gu Jingze. Father Mo said, if Gu Jingze likes it, then so be it. He can't touch you and you can't do anything about it. Wait for me to find you a suitable family. Then, you can quickly marry off and stop being a burden in this house. It's not fair. Even if I can't get him, I won't let Lin Che continue acting innocent and hooking Gu Jingze. Humph. Mo Hilling's eyes flashed. She took her bag and ran out. When Lin Che came out from her company, Gu Jingze called up. Seeing the words, "Dearest hubby," on her screen, her heart inevitably felt sweet. Thinking about how those two words linked to this incredibly handsome, cold, yet sexy man, she couldn't help but feel incredulous that this outstanding man was actually her husband. Since when was she so lucky? Smiling, she picked up her phone. Do you want to eat outside tonight? Gu Jingze asked. Lin Che said, okay, where are you? I still have a task to complete. Let the chauffeur take you to my company and then come up and find me. Oh, okay, but I've never been to GU Industries. What if I can't find you there? When you're almost there, I'll get Chin how to receive you. Okay. Lin Che and the chauffeur headed to GU Industries. From a distance, she could see the tall building and thought that it looked extremely majestic as it was placed in the most prominent spot in the streets. GU Industries seemed to be all over the B district, holding a special and extraordinary role in this country. It displayed GU Industries' wealth and power even more. No other entrepreneurship could match it. Lin Che sighed in amazement. She looked at the subtle but gorgeous GU Industries English name on the building and felt that it was very high class. They quickly reached their destination. She got out of the car while the chauffeur went to park. She wheeled herself in. Actually, she didn't think she needed the wheelchair, but Gu Jingze insisted on it. Thankfully, the wheelchair from her previous accident was still at home, so she used it. It was only a sprain but she looked like she was handicapped. She entered the door and went to the front desk. Miss, where is President Gu's office? The receptionist stood up to see Lin Che sitting in a wheelchair. Which President Gu are you referring to? Gu Jingze, Lin Che replied. The receptionist was shocked. She then smiled and asked indifferently, do you have an appointment? Ah, do I need an appointment to see him? You can't just see President Gu whenever you want to. You can't go in without an appointment. Otherwise, countless people would want to see our President Gu every day. President Gu doesn't have time to bother about you people. The receptionist glared at her and couldn't be bothered with her. Lin Che was tongue-tied. Before she could say anything, Chin Hao's voice came from behind. Madam, you're here. The receptionist saw Chin Hao arrive and quickly tidied her hair. She watched in surprise as Chin Hao talked politely to Lin Che and even personally pushed her wheelchair. The receptionist was stunned as she looked at Lin Che. It was rare to see Assistant Chin be so respectful towards someone. Also, what did Chin Hao just call her? When Chin Hao ushered Lin Che in, she felt curious stares from everyone. Everybody was extremely polite to Chin Hao. When they saw Chin Hao, they would bow their heads courteously and greet Assistant Chin. Lin Che then recalled what Shen Yoren said. Chin Hao was particularly prestigious in GU Industries. Today was the first time she actually witnessed it. She thought all along that he was just an assistant who was always beside Gu Jingze and there was nothing special about it. Chapter 228. Talk about our breakup. Chin Hao wheeled Lin Che in and said to her, "Madam, wait for a moment. Sir is handling some work and will be out with you in a minute." "Oh, no problem, no problem. Go to your own things, Assistant Chin. I'll just be here taking a look." This was Lin Che's first time at Gu Jingze's workplace, so she had to look all around. The entire floor was Gu Jingze's office. There was a secretarial room outside where dozens of secretaries carried out their duties. All of them were looking curiously at Lin Che. Inside, Gu Jingze was alone in his office. The monochromatic interior made it look very professional and modern. When Lin Che entered, Gu Jingze was on the phone. He saw Lin Che and gestured for her to take a seat. Lin Che quickly nodded her head and sat at a side. Chin Hao hurriedly took some books, a computer, and some other things to keep her occupied. After he left, Lin Che leaned into her seat and looked at Gu Jingze behind his desk. He spoke in English, Japanese, Russian and various other languages over the phone. His voice was steady and he spoke slowly. His expression was sometimes relaxed and sometimes heavy. She could tell that his work was extremely busy and cumbersome. From time to time, he would stand up and stand at the full-length window. With one hand on his office chair, he would look out the window. His tall and straight figure became more prominent against the background of skyscrapers. Lin Che tilted her head as she looked and thought about that saying. A serious man was the most handsome. She thought that this man really knew everything and was very capable. He knew so many languages and was very handsome. He even looked good when he was angry. He was simply a devil. When Gu Jingze turned to look, he saw Lin Che staring at him. Looking at her silly smile, Gu Jingze thought that it was so interesting. He thought that this woman was really boy crazy. But when women became boy crazy, it normally made people feel that it was very vulgar and boring. There were always plenty of women staring at him and he was always disturbed by it. But looking at Lin Che like this, he actually didn't feel disturbed at all. Instead, he felt a sense of satisfaction from being worshipped by her. Anyway, there was no sense of disgust at all. He had gotten used to her superficiality a long time ago. It was probably because she was pretty, to begin with, so even if she had a boy-crazy expression, she was still pretty. Or perhaps, he simply liked the way she looked at him. It made him feel her undisguised, bare-naked admiration towards him. She never hid her true self. Perhaps that was why nobody found her detestable. Smiling, he looked at her and said, "Hey, your saliva is almost touching the desk." Lin Che panicked and came back to her senses. She quickly reached up to wipe the corners of her mouth. There was nothing. "Bastard, there's no saliva. If there really was, I'd definitely spit it right into your mouth." Humph. Gu Jingze's face darkened. However, imagining that disgusting action of spitting saliva into his mouth didn't disgust him at all. It was no big deal. It was not like he never tasted it. He had tasted it before. It was fragrant, delicious, and made him feel good. He tilted his head and supported his chin with one hand. He looked at her. "Come, try and spit." Since when was Gu Jingze's tolerance so high? Just then, Chin Hao came in with some news. "President Gu." Gu Jingze's eyes looked up with some threat in them. President Gu, Chin Hao immediately realized that it might not have been the time for him to enter. He should have knocked. But it was rather urgent. "President Gu, outside." "Assistant Chin, do you need to revise your speech abilities again?" Gu Jingze stood behind his desk and faced Chin Hao. Chin Hao immediately said, "All right, President Gu. Miss Mo is outside, she says that it's important that she needs to meet you." Mo Hiling. Gu Jingze's face sank and his eyes inadvertently shifted to Lin Che. Lin Che looked up and stared back at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze stared at Chin Hao with a darkened face. Chin Hao looked completely innocent. But he disliked that he was slow. It made him speak out of gratitude. Lin Che spoke at the side, "Isn't it something important? Why not meet her?" Gu Jingze's lips moved and he looked at Chin Hao. His expression seemed to say that he disliked Chin Hao even more. After a long time, he finally moved his hands. Chin Hao quickly went out. The person outside was also not one to trigger. Not long after he went out, Mo Hiling's voice could be heard. "Jingze, you're finally willing to see me." And Chin Hao's warning, which was too late, "Miss Mo, the one with President Gu in his office is." Mo Hiling pushed the door open. Without needing Chin Hao's reminder, she already saw Lin Che seated on the sofa. Her eyes paused and then intensified. She smiled coldly and glanced at Lin Che with disdain. But underneath her calm expression, she was raging. Nothing could stop it. Gu Jingze actually brought Lin Che to the company. He usually separated personal and work matters. Now, he actually brought Lin Che to his workplace. She initially thought that coming to Gu Jingze's company would be the safest place. Gu Jingze would be here every day. He was so dedicated and responsible, and he handled everything personally. So she would definitely be able to see Gu Jingze if she came here. But she did not expect to meet this clingy woman here. What a ghost. Mo Hiling looked at Gu Jingze and gritted her teeth. She planned to personally get rid of this woman herself one day, so she endured it and said to Gu Jingze, "I have something important that I want to talk to you about. Can we?" Gu Jingze looked at Lin Che and back at her, "Can't we talk here?" Mo Hiling shook her head sorrowfully, "It's about us. Are you sure you want to talk about it here? Something about just them." Gu Jingze hesitated. He looked at Mo Hiling earnestly staring back, her weak eyes helplessly looking at him. Gu Jingze took a deep breath and thought that this would be the last time. Since she came here herself, there was nothing else he could say. Thus, he nodded his head. Mo Hiling immediately smiled happily but did not forget to maintain her meek expression. She looked gratefully at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze walked to Lin Che's side, "We'll still go out for dinner later. I'll be back soon." Lin Che smiled and nodded, "Go ahead. It's all right." Gu Jingze and Mo Hiling walked out together. This time, Gu Jingze was not going to fall into her trap and go to a place she wanted to go to. Mo Hiling also knew about the increased security just in case too. Thus, she only asked, "Jingze, do you really want to break up with me for good? Actually, it's no big deal. If you want to break up, we'll break up. I just wanted to talk about the problem of our breakup. I've been with you for so long and I don't want you to simply break up with me over such casual words. You can't just brush me off like that. I'm not going to take you to any place, so I figured you wouldn't want to follow me either. Will the cafe downstairs suffice? This is your territory. What else can I do to you?" Gu Jingze listened, stared at her for a while, and nodded. The main thing she wanted to talk about was their breakup. He thought that if they could settle this problem on a good note, it would be beneficial too. Chapter 229. She is only a desire for you. Gu Jingze looked at Mo Hiling, "You can say it here too. There are hardly people around." Gu Jingze really did not want to go to any place out of his control in case she was going to do something to put him in a pinch. Mo Hiling said, "When we were together in Italy, you told me that you wanted to date me. Now that we're breaking up, are you going to do it in this office corridor? Gu Jingze, you are simply too ruthless." Gu Jingze's heart sank. Looking at Mo Hiling, he sighed, "All right." She made him recall them being together when they were 17 or 18 years old. They naively thought that nothing could stop them, but now. Mo Hiling took the lead and walked out. There weren't many people at the cafe. Mo Hiling sat down and looked at Gu Jingze, "I want to know if you're breaking up with me because you've fallen in love with Lin Che." Gu Jingze froze. He looked at Mo Hiling, "Hiling, all these have nothing to do with what's going on between us." "Of course they do. If there wasn't Lin Che, would you still break up with me? Mo Hilling asked. Just be straight with me. Are you in love with Lin Che or not? Gu Jingze didn't know what to say. Was his complicated feelings for Lin Che out of habit? Or pity? Anyway, it was a feeling that he couldn't and didn't know how to describe. He only purely wanted to treat her well. This kind of feeling was completely different from when he was with Mo Hilling. If whatever feelings he had for Mo Hilling was love, then he couldn't understand this entirely different feeling towards Lin Che. Now, he only wanted to be with Lin Che and never have her leave him. Gu Jingze said, Hilling, even if you know all this, it won't do you any good. How do you want to solve this? If you want any sort of compensation, I'll give it to you. I don't want compensation, I just wanted to speak. Mo Hilling's tears rolled down her cheeks. She gazed at Gu Jingze and continued, my feelings for you are pure. I don't have any polluted thoughts. Do you remember when we were little? I was always tagging behind you. You always called me Little Ling Bell. When I'm with you, I can do nothing. Even if it's just listening to music for a whole day, I wouldn't have any dirty thoughts. We could just look at each other and never get bored. Our relationship is pure. Now, you've been charmed and you want to be with her because you can touch her and sleep with her. But you will never be able to find a relationship as pure as ours. Don't regret it in the future. When she said that he was only desiring Lin Che, Gu Jingze frowned. Lin Che is not what you think she is. There's more than just desire between us. Hearing his angry tone, Mo Hilling became angrier. But she endured and resisted the urge to hit Lin Che. The person on the spot may be baffled, but the onlooker sees clearly. I know what you guys are. Humph. You two will never be as pure as us. Jingze, I just want to tell you one last thing. I'm telling you that you'll definitely regret it. Gu Jingze immediately stood up. His tall silhouette emitted a cold glow. He started walking away when Mo Hilling grabbed his arm. Jingze. Gu Jingze turned around. When he turned back, Mo Hilling was looking at him with tears in her eyes. Jingze, do you remember what you said to me? You said that you would marry me in the end. Even if you couldn't touch me, we'll still find ways to have kids. We'll have plenty of kids. You'll work while I stay at home with them. Gu Jingze felt pain in his heart. Looking back at these words now, they sounded like a joke. Those were merely casual words. He didn't like children but she always insisted on having them. That was why he said that they could have many children. Since she never did anything at home, she might as well raise some children. But it was true that once separated, old love promises sounded a lot crueler. Gu Jingze only had this one relationship with her, so he couldn't say that it wasn't important. It was cultivated over such a long time. Of course, his heart would soften and he would feel sad. Mo Hilling looked up. Can I hug you again? Just once. My dad is going to find a marriage partner for me soon. I don't know if I'll ever have this chance again. Gu Jingze's heart moved. Was she finally planning her future with someone else? This was good. She would have a new life by then. Everything would probably be a lot better. He nodded. Mo Hilling cried and hugged his waist. After a long time, she finally looked up at him from his embrace. Gu Jingze endured it, thinking that it would be the last time, so he didn't reject her. He then finally pushed her arm away gently. Gu Jingze said, "Live well. I'm going." Mo Hilling felt depressed thinking about how he was going back up to be with Lin Che. But she nodded her head obediently and looked sadly at him walking away. Her heart raged with anger. Looking up, Mo Hilling saw the cafe's surveillance camera. The corners of her lips curled up as she smirked. If she couldn't live well, Lin Che wouldn't either. In the office, Lin Che sat there and read a book. Chin Hao looked nervously beside her. Seeing that Lin Che didn't seem affected and was just reading a book, he admired her immense strength and endurance. As Gu Jingze was still not back, Chin Hao walked over and said, "Madam, why don't you eat a little something to fill your stomach?" Lin Che looked up and smiled, "No need." But she had waited for quite some time and Gu Jingze was not back. He was afraid that it was past dinner time and she would be upset. Chin Hao said, "I hope Madam will understand. Sir only has this soft spot. Everything else is fine. It's just Miss Mo. At least Sir only wants to treat Madam well now and even wish that Madam It's hard for you to still put good words for your sir, but honestly, I'm not even doing anything. Do I really look angry to you? She really didn't. Lin Che continued, alright, I'm not angry. Go to your own things. You don't have to look after me so worriedly. Qin Hao looked at Lin Che and felt that his impression of her was really getting better and better. She wasn't as unreasonable as Mo Hilling. She had such a good temper and was even very polite to him. Qin Hao replied, Madam, please take a rest here then. After Qin Hao left, Lin Che then looked outside. She sighed slowly with the book still in her hand. She was at this page for the past half an hour. She looked outside. This man. He said that he would be back soon. Was he coming back at all? But even if he wasn't coming back, she could understand. Perhaps as they talked, he got immersed in his feelings. Maybe he didn't care anymore and wanted to take care of her as long as he didn't need to go to the hospital. Just then, she saw Gu Jingze finally enter the door. He looked at her as he walked over. I'm back. Let's go and eat. Chapter 230. He's obviously not in too good a mood. He smiled. Although a huge load was lifted off his shoulders earlier, he more or less still felt a little sad after hearing what Mo Hilling said. However, he could not explain why he was sad. Perhaps he more or less felt a little sad only because everything had come to an end. Maybe it was just because he did not know when he had become this kind of a man. Initially, he had thought that he had to be with her. However, he ultimately did not persevere. He had always thought that he was a principled person. If he decided on something, he didn't simply change his decision or hurt anyone. But in the end, he still hurt Hilling and Lin Che as well. He felt as if he had become the kind of man he looked upon with disdain. He drew in a deep breath and reached his hands out to push Lin Che's wheelchair. Lin Che said, Are we still going to eat? To be honest, I don't have anything I want to eat either. Why don't we? Quote. It's alright. We already agreed to go and eat something. They opened up a new store over there. Let's go and try the food out. Oh, alright. She could only nod her head when she heard Gu Jingze say this. Gu Jingze pushed Lin Che out through the corridor into the secretarial department outside. Upon seeing this scene, the people at the side all turned their eyes to them one by one. Gu Jingze walked ahead with a few bodyguards constantly following behind him. In a formidable array, the line of people walked out. Lin Che was pushed in front and her aura was out of place with the people behind her. Her unbefitting appearance was extremely eye-catching. It only took a short while for the company's internal forum to simply explode. Everyone knew that Gu Jingze had a girlfriend, Mo Hilling, a person whose family was of equal status as his. However, the person whom Gu Jingze had pushed on a wheelchair today had obviously not been her. Why did President Gu get a new girlfriend? I think President Gu treats his girlfriend really well. He's so attentive and even pushed her along. But how could his girlfriend even be a cripple? Oh my god, President Gu changed his girlfriend so inconspicuously. Why didn't he make it known earlier? If he did, then I could have just went and wooed him. The person above, stop dreaming. There are countless people in the company waiting in line. You won't be able to get to the front. President Gu is really too beautiful. I don't know how the people in the president's office on the top floor can do their work properly when they have to see him every day there. In response to the post above, it's because the people who don't do their work properly and keep looking at President Gu have already been directly tossed out by the bodyguards by President Gu's side. When they fell, they fractured their femurs and were even fired. After that, all of us began to work properly without looking at President Gu. That's a matter of course. The bodyguards beside President Gu are clearly formidable. Whoever goes close to him of their own accord are absolutely looking for death. After all, look at President Gu's status. Can ordinary people get close to him? As Gu Jingze pushed Lin Che along, Lin Che saw everyone's gazes flashing rapidly towards them. Slightly embarrassed, she lowered her head. Fortunately, Gu Jingze's private elevator arrived at the floor in no time to take them down. Gu Jingze gave all of them a meaningful look to prevent them from following so closely for the time being. After getting into the car, Gu Jingze did not say anything for the entire duration of the ride either. In the past, Lin Che would chatter away without stopping. However, this time, she also did not seem to have anything to say and merely looked straight ahead. She could sense that the entire atmosphere surrounding Gu Jingze had been slightly gloomy since he returned earlier. Even though he did not express it, it still affected her deeply. At the restaurant, Gu Jingze and Lin Che entered through a special passageway and were escorted by the owner to the restaurant's best private room. The private room was so exquisite that it would have made one speechless. After sitting down, Lin Che looked in Gu Jingze's direction. Gu Jingze smiled at her. Are you cold? If you're cold, I'll get someone to turn on the heater. Gu Jingze. Lin Che stopped him upon seeing that he was about to get up. There's no need to go through all that trouble. I'm not cold. Are you feeling unhappy? If you're feeling unhappy, it's better for us to go back. Let's not eat anymore. No, we should still eat what we have to, Gu Jingze said. That's enough. I'll even get indigestion easily from looking at this sour face of yours. Let's just not eat. Lin Che pushed her own wheelchair and stopped it at the side as she looked at him. Gu Jingze froze. He lifted his hand to stroke his chin. Of course, he did not know whether or not his face was sour. However, when he raised his head to look at Lin Che's helpless face, he still drew in a deep breath ultimately before saying seriously, sorry, I didn't mean to affect you. Lin Che pulled her lips taut. It's all right. Did you not have a good talk with Miss Mo? Gu Jingze merely shook his head. No, it went very well. Then, why are you? Quote. It's just that I'm the sole reason that caused Hilling and me to end like this today. I know it, but there's nothing I can do. Maybe you'll think that I'm indecisive, but I still continue to blame myself. The Hilling whom you see now is like this, but in reality, the Hilling whom I saw in the past was not like this, so. Quote. The corners of Lin Che's lips twitched again before she smiled candidly. Of course I knew that she would definitely behave differently in front of me as opposed to in front of her own lover. No, I shouldn't be discussing her with you. Gu Jingze shook his head to make himself change his sour expression. You don't have an obligation to assume responsibility for any of my matters, nor do you have an obligation to listen to me vent my frustrations. How can that be? Lin Che said, even friends can listen to each other vent their frustrations. Furthermore, the reason that you can't be together is also because of me. Quote. No, it has nothing to do with you. I know that it's my own problem, he said. Lin Che wanted to say something, but as she looked at his gloomy face, she felt instead that she could not speak a word. If she had not appeared, everything would not be in this disastrous state. He and Mo Hilling would likely have married a long time ago. They probably would have even had a child on the way. At the roots, it still had something to do with her. However, it was also a matter between the two of them. Ultimately, she had no right to interfere. Thus, in the final analysis, she was actually still an outsider. She had put her foot in between the two of them, but could not enter their world. Lin Che laughed dryly. Gu Jingze raised his head and said to Lin Che, I'm sorry. I'm the one who isn't feeling good, but I made you lose your appetite too. Relax. It's all right. You have so many shortcomings, but I still tolerate all of them. I'll just take a small thing like this as your menstruation coming. Menstruation. Gu Jingze furrowed his brow. Lin Che laughed out loud, thinking that he definitely did not understand. She put her hand over her mouth and explained, when girls get their periods, we call it menstruation, so for a man, it's called. Quote. So for a man, it was called menstruation. Gu Jingze's face began to darken immediately. When Lin Che started laughing, she would rock forwards and backward in complete disregard for her image. Even her foot had been placed on the wheelchair. She hugged her knee as she looked at Gu Jingze. Gu Jingze shot a glance at her leg. It was only when she noticed it that she remembered that she was involuntarily behaving like a tomboy again. She apologized to him but began to think about it. In any case, he would not care even if she did not behave like a tomboy. Thus, she simply paid even less attention to her image and continued to leave her leg up. She looked at Gu Jingze and said, then, are we still eating or not? Gu Jingze sighed. Knowing that he himself was the one who had affected her, he could only proceed to say, sorry. Lin Che said casually, if you really feel apologetic towards me. Quote.